wanna put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways.
I'm about to drop some hugely powerful alpha. And that's what they call it. They call it alpha, believe me. Okay? And not many people know this, but alpha means that I know big things, strong things, powerful things. So here's the alpha, folks. If you want to be hugely rich like me, you got to join and subscribe to the BLEEVESCRYPTO YouTube channel. You got to become a member because many people say, quite frankly, it's the strongest YouTube channel out there. It's fantastic. It's the best. So let me know what you think, folks. Funny Donald Duck.
I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 Lady, and I got my shine. Money in my pocket and we're feeling fine. Radio's loud and we're playing Sublime. I think it's gonna be a good day, my oh my. I can't believe I made it this far, it's a miracle. Floating in the clouds now, used to be miserable. Never looking back since I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love out of waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all. Yeah. La da da da, good life, sitting by the fire. La da day, good life, feeling that breeze.
What is going on, everybody? I hope everybody is having a great night. This is Bedtime with Bleeves. I'm Bleeves. You're not. And this dragon, I made this dragon myself. I grabbed a pen. I grabbed a paper. I grabbed, this is not, it's of course digital, but I grabbed a pen, I grabbed a paper, and then I put that to the side and went to Midjourney and said, hey, can I have a green dragon with lightning? And so, yeah, basically art, that's me. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now, by the way, I was doing vaulted. This was supposed to be like vaulted shit here too, by the way. So, it's like I really had this idea that I was going to make like this vaulted dragon. Not even close. Not even close. And this electricity here, I tried to isolate on the image to try to turn it into like vaulted green so that it gave more pop or something like that. Didn't do it, but you know what? Not my problem, right? Anyway, so hope everybody's having a good night. We got a ton of stuff to kind of go over here, and we're going to kick it off. I'm going to do this as quickly as I possibly can. First of all, what's up, Design DNA? Justin W. Joshua Carrero says Veracity is pumping up. David Hamaker, when do you think Bitcoin will break to 30K? When we see it on the chart. Chenta DeMars, I hope I said that right. What's going on? Volt and NGN in the house, and big things happening potentially between those two. I don't know anything about it. I may have introduced a couple of people together to try to get something working, but if something goes and starts working, I won't know about it until they tell me about it. So BRL is here in the house. Nicholas Nichols is in the house. Let's get volted. Richard Nelson is here. Juice is here. Logs is here. Kamal, D. Trent, the Bloodhound Hour is here. Bulls will suck it hard. That is correct. NNZZ, what's up, Bleeves? Any thoughts on DTT Dark Tavern token? I saw, so I haven't checked it out yet, but I did want to get into it and kind of look. Now, I did kind of go to it, and it turns out it was Dark Token. It was Dark Tavern Finance. So it got a little complicated as I was kind of reading through it. So by the time I got done, I was like, I have no idea what this goddamn thing is. So it's going to take a little bit longer before I know, anything really about it. Just like a surface move. I thought maybe it'd be kind of cool. And of course, my brain started working like Dark Tavern. It'd be kind of cool if you had like this game, and all you have to do is just like load in and put your information in, and then boom, you're in this game doing whatever it is, financial services. Silly as it may sound, because you're just typing stuff out, right? So it would be a cool, sort of interesting, interactive thing. And no, it wasn't anything like that. D. Trent says, believes you have an opinion on Delicium. Yeah, they should tell me more about them because I have no idea what it is right now. Gary Cooley, what is going on? Maddie B in the house. Greg M. I try, man. I'm not always right, but I do my best to make people go, God damn, I can't believe he got that. Nice Dragon. Hey, thanks. I work out. What do you think of Terrarium long term? Love it long term. Not real happy about Milton and all the things that happened. And if you have a vote and everybody says no, we don't want a version 2, and you're like, okay, we'll have a version 2, and you say no, we said no, we don't want a version 2. He said, right, we're going to do a version 2. That's not cool. That's not that's not kosher. So you got to come over. You got to get over that, and that's going to take a little bit of time. And especially, here's what. Let's just say this about every single token, and this includes Saitama. This includes everybody else, right? We're in a space right now that's kind of reserved. Uniswap, that is, that's reserved for kind of degen plays and just random retail. And there's not a lot of retail in the market. There are investors, but the degen everyday retail kind of people, we are it. There's more of us. I'm not saying that we're all of it, but we represent a good portion of it. So if we're soured on something, if we're not into something, then it's tough. It's very tough to bring in more people to something. And then, those people got to make a decision based on the information that's provided. And that information that gets provided on social media and through like telegrams and stuff like that. And if they don't shine, then it's very difficult to get new investors. So, put lipstick on that pig and make it shine. And the only way they can do that right now is through the centralized exchange, and then through other alternative measures. And those other alternative measures are going to centralized exchanges that they have not been able to get listed on before, and get listed on them now. And most probably what you're going to see, which is going to be awesome, which is why I remain bullish on it overall, is they're going to be able to go to, say another exchange like MEXC and say, hey, listen, we'll list your token if you list our token. And they're like, okay, cool. And they're going to start doing that. And it'll be good for both tokens over the long term. Now, I assume, by the way, that it won't, we're not starting off with MEXC, because MEXC, by the way, if you haven't already, MEXC is down in the description below. Sign up and start trading on it. That's where the bot is going to be when I set the trading bot up and I have everything ready to go. It's going to be MEXC, so you might as well sign up for it right now and get yourself ready. So that's going to be kind of fun, by the way. But it probably won't start off with MEXC. It's going to depend on volume and stuff like that. So they'll make some deals with people, and they'll start getting Terra V2 listed on other exchanges, and then other exchanges will start to build up volume. Volume will start to build up. That'll create FOMO. FOMO creates more attention, and that increases the price action. So I think there's a path forward, a very easy path forward to at least $1 billion market cap. Not in this bear market, not in the bear market. But in a bull run, in a bull market, there's no reason that it couldn't have a 1 or 2 billion market cap just based on the centralized exchange. When it gets to later on, there's a functional blockchain with a lot of what can only be described, I guess, as blockchain shit on it. Then the potential becomes exponential from there. And the one thing to always consider is how much money they can throw at it. With Dr. Whatever the asshole was that geeked out and disappeared. With him being gone, I don't think that affects it any, because it looked like he needed money. And the guy that doesn't need money is Praveen. Like, he's the one that seems to be funding and financing a whole lot of this. And he seems to have the big wallet. So I think as long as he is happy with what's going on, then we're good to go. So that's why I remain just kind of bullish on it overall. I don't want to talk about it unless they say, hey, look, we want to partner with you because, everybody that we partnered with, we chose wrong, and we started fighting with all those people. So we'd like somebody who doesn't do that kind of shit and start drama or create any kind of issues or concerns or anything like that. So if they do that, we'll talk about them. If not, yeah, we'll just kind of pass it along and say, hey, cool. Relax with me says, Bleez, what's up? See, a lot of people owe you their asses next bull run. Maybe so. And if they do, I hope they pay. Because, and look, by the way, I do want to say this, like, this right here is what I'm also looking for, as like, I enjoy coming here and talking to you guys and preaching about crypto and what the potentials are and the possibilities are. And does this guy look really just kind of menacing up here? Like, Jesus Christ, I keep staring at my own screen thinking, God damn, like that's a little creepy. But so anyway, yeah, so I like doing this. So my hope, along with hopefully everybody else, is that we go from, I think it's 25,400, maybe 25,500 at this point, subscribers, to more, way more. You know what I mean? Like, enough that this is what I do. You know what I mean? And we get just, 4 times as many views or something like that. And then it all kind of changes. And matter of fact, shit, I ain't scared. Let's do this. You guys can see my dashboard, and then what it ends up like. So let's go over here. You guys can see it right here. I have 25,500 people that are subscribers. Over 50 members in the memberships. I'm trying to I want 300 members in the membership. Going for 100 now. My number one video is the one that I did on SHIB today, in the last couple of days, that is. And then estimated revenue for the month is $1,410. And that's, this is the first day of the new month. So, it's about $1,400 for last month. So, I mean, that's, what, $350 a week? Like, that's not doing anything. It's not setting the world on fire, but my views, 176,000. My watch times, 14,000 hours. I mean, I appreciate it. People people come and watch me, and I appreciate that so much. And in fact, if you look at analytics, then you can see like the audience over here. The audience, where are we at here? See more, I think. Yeah, you can see right here which videos people like the most. Gender, ladies, come on, where are the ladies at? You know what I mean? 90%, 88% male, 12.1% female. Cities, this is where now I know where you guys live, right? A lot of action: LA, New York, London, Cambodia, Cambodia. Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Dallas, Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Houston, Lagos, Nigeria, Chicago, Istanbul, Chicago. Come on, represent, man. Like, goddamn. Port Harcourt, Nigeria, Sydney, Australia, Melbourne, Australia, Nairobi, Kenya, Seattle, San Diego, Ankara, Turkey, Vientiane, Laos, Senegal, Peru, Netherlands, Ontario, Canada, another from Turkey. I mean, these are the number of views. So we have the geography of what we're doing here is 86% United States, 10%, or I'm sorry, God damn it, 67%. Well, let's call 50% United States, and then UK, Canada, Australia, Nigeria, Netherlands, India, and on down. So we're going around the world, I guess, at this point. We're going around the world, and I appreciate every single one of you so much for just taking the time to come check me out every day. You have no idea how much I appreciate all of that. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And let's get into some news now. And by the way, as you can see over here in the background, we're going to start off with a real quick update. Bull Run Life has got updates with the MADS CEO. Now, if you're not familiar, the MADS CEO is the guy that created the NFT collection for Bull Run. So if you come over here to BRL and we go to the website, we have 5 NFTs and we got them staked, and boom, boom, and then it's these NFTs right here, and you can mint them, and then you can use them for staking. And then here I've got the 5 NFTs staked, and we're about to hit $100 in USDC. So yeah, if you're interested, tomorrow it looks live in 12 hours, 9 a.m. my time. So that's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Steve is going live with the Mads CEO, if you're interested in that. Otherwise, let's get into this. Pre-markets show Dow up 55, S&P down 15, and NASDAQ down 58.75. And we got some crazy shit going on, by the way. Silvergate might be the next black swan, and I don't know if it is happening right now. And I apologize if I skip some of the chats here. I don't have time to answer everything. If you really need something answered, then you know what to do. Do a super chat. Otherwise, we got to kind of move on here and get this going, because I went on this rant and ended up taking a long time. So let me get after this stuff real quick. The crypto market is at 1.075 trillion, 48.8 billion in trading volume for the day. Ethereum up a little bit. Ethereum looks like it's ready to break out, by the way. I heard somebody else finally say it, because I'm looking at it and I haven't said it to you because I was kind of nervous, because I expected it to break out by now, and it has not broken out. And I keep thinking, like, let's just watch it and see what happens. Because it's just not doing what I think it's supposed to be doing because of the upgrade, right? And I mean, we're getting nowhere, so I have no idea. So I haven't said that I think it's going to break out. I'm saving it for Bitcoin, saying that, if Bitcoin breaks out, everything comes along with it. But I think, we did talk last week, and I know I did say it to you, that Ethereum should be running by now. I'm just, it's a little weird for me to look at it and see that it's not. So I don't know what's going on there, but I do have 2 Bitcoin charts now, by the way. I've got one here that we can look for like lower time frames. And we can look at what's going on here. But then I popped another one out here because I want to kind of focus at this point on the 1 day right here and look at it this way. And I just wanted to have 2 things on here. It's the SMA, the 50 and the 200, which the 200 is the 50. The 200 is the 50. Jesus fucking Christ. The 50 is the blue one, and the 200 is the green one. And then remember, we talked about this trend line that I had going all this time, right? Well, we've broken out of it, and we had broken out of it just a few months. We've already been broken out of it for like 2 months, right? But it was a very important level, and it seems like this level is holding support. Now, this is a very weird sort of scenario, but follow me here. This 50-day SMA has created this X. It's kind of marking the spot right now on where we are. And if you look right here, we bounced off of that using it as support, and it looks like we're bouncing off of the 50 SMA and using it as support as well. And then that becomes, where does that go from there? Well, logical, if it wants to pump, it's going to have to pump. Like it's, we're getting to the point where if we want it to keep going in the direction that it's, that we're hoping that it goes, that it's about God candle time. This is about the spot that we saw that happen, because, we got the pump here, we got the little dip here, we got the retest, and then we got this big move, and then we got this big dip over here, and then this led to the big move. Now, where's that I'm talking about? Let's go back over here to 2019, and let's look at the moment that we broke out, which was right over in 2019. And it's crazy to look at it on the day chart and see it like that. But right in here, this is where we were, and this is what was going on. And, we had this little downward sort of area here, and then we had that move, and that move is this move right here. And we get the little pump, we get the dump, and then we get another pump, and we get a dump, and then we go into holy shit mode, right? Now that gets interrupted, by the way. That if you remember, that got interrupted by COVID, but that doesn't mean that we didn't have that big gigantic move where Bitcoin goes from 7,000 to 14,000, just like that. So considering where we are right now, if we're at 23,000, then the legitimate idea here would be that Bitcoin would go to Shit, what's the number that I had pegged out here a while back? Because we've been talking about it, and Jesus Christ, I can't believe I just deleted it. Anyway, it's going to be right over here. It's going to be 41,472, 40,500, but roughly 40,500, and that would match up with if it did the same thing. I don't know why I got rid of this goddamn line. I swear to God. Anyway, so we're going to call it 40,500. This is where it would play out. This is like the natural move right here and how long did it take? A couple days. Like it just went nuts, and then in a couple days, it did that. And now you might be looking at right now and thinking, well, that's probably not going to happen again because the capital doesn't exist. And I beg to differ. If we were able to get to 69,000, then we are absolutely able to get to 40,000. So it's just a matter of economic conditions being something that would allow something like that to happen. So we're going to keep watching this, and I'm going to keep watching these lines here and see just how this thing plays out, and hope for the best. Now over here on Ethereum, and Jesus Christ, these lines are starting to really get on my nerves. But we're still in this pattern, and this pattern breaks to the downside, guys. No matter what, this is a downside momentum pattern. And if you can follow me here with the logic here, we're bouncing off of, we're bouncing here, we're bouncing off the 50 here. So we're using and we're respecting this 50-day SMA as of this moment, but it's going to break like this. So that means that in order for us to stick with it, assuming that we continue on that path, but it probably kind of moves itself outward this way. But nonetheless, if we keep bouncing on it, we keep going up, but we're not going up very much. We're just kind of idling sideways. The part to be nervous about is this upward facing channel. Unless we break out of it, then we're headed down. 8 out of 10 times when you have an upward facing channel, then the result is a break to the downside, just like we saw here. We didn't see the break to the upside, and we're not seeing we're seeing that wicking right there, and we see it a couple of times as we test the top of this little parallel channel, but we're not seeing the breakout. We're not seeing that real move where we start using this level as support, and then we can spring up from there. Like that's what we're missing, and that's what we were seeing back over here last year when we were doing this leading up over here. We saw this move right here, and if you guys I don't want to have like a time travel lesson with you because we don't need to do that, but guys, if you remember, we were talking about this. We were talking about this level. Now what happened here? We had this long-term area, and it was going this way, and we had that parallel channel, and then what happened? It broke to the downside, and then what happened? We got this massive wick, we got bam, and then it just went on a run and went crazy. So we went from 1,347 to 2,000, which is an increase of over 50% in about 30 days. So there's a lot of potential for a breakout. Now, if we do something like that, then we're looking at like 23, and we would be looking at bottom of this little area right here, which would be about the area of resistance, because you can see right there is where you have this little fight right here, and you have this little fight right here, and then over here you got resistance and support used a couple of different times in this little area. So 23 would be a great place for us to make a play. And Jesus Christ, I've turned this whole thing into a goddamn rainbow. Oh my God. I got to clean. Tomorrow we're going to have a clean chart. I can't take all these lines. This thing is just annoying the absolute shit out of me at this point. But the important thing for me has been, I want to make sure that I know, where the resistances are in case I want to play on this chart. So I certainly don't need two lines in the same spot. But so I'm watching this chart, and I'm constantly looking at it, trying to find a good play out of it. I don't think that that this 1636, a dump here, I don't think that represents a good play, even though it did play out pretty well a couple of times so far when it hit over here and it came down and then it bounced back off. But that's just not a lot that you're not scalping very much off of it. So like I'm kind of holding on. I'm not using leverage yet. So yeah. But anyway, let's move on from that and let's get into big news. No Wagme Wednesday today, as the dev team is setting up shop at Ethereum Denver. Having said that, we will make it up to our community with many interviews, live broadcast, and announcements. So, guys, we are about to get that announcement that we've been waiting for on Wagme, and you can see it over here in the chart right now. Somebody knows something. So here we are sitting at 13 million market cap right now, 1336, almost 1337. I'm looking at you, BRL. I'm looking at you, NGN. 1337 is the magic number. So we have 1.66 Ethereum with a market cap of 13 million. So 130, 150 million market cap. Now we're starting to look at a big stack of ETH, which would be a great play. And we still have our 3 Wagme Genesis NFTs. And go. Had some good offers for it earlier today. In fact, let's go look on OpenSea. We're going to take a little sidetrack here. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like over there. Uproar Entertainment, thank you for the $2 bomb, man. I appreciate you. So here we go. The best offer that I have right now is $874, and every single one of my Genesis NFTs are the same. So, ooh, Jesus Christ, we got to go into night mode, and I got to connect here. All right, so these are all my NFTs. Just so you guys know, like I did not buy any of these other than like the Wagme Genesis NFTs, and these down here are like the ones I got, and then my name, Believes.eth. But all the rest is BTFA I did, and I have a Believes NFT of myself, but I've never even used it. My Volted Dragon and my Wagme stuff, those are all me. But and I got this G3 verse web pass. I got that for David Gockstein. So, but we've got all these different things here. Here's what I spent on, I guess, each one of them. 0.07. I feel like I spent like $500-$600 on the Wagme Genesis ones. So, but they're right now being offered at 874. So, who knows? Anyway, so big opportunity here. Hopefully, we're about to see some kind of massive move, and that's Scott and Costas that are at the booth right now setting up. So, I think we got a big move on Wagme coming. And let me just say that if I have to guess here, I think that look, there's an enormous amount of upside. Now the question is, what are you going to do in a bearish market, not yet a bull market, with a 1600 ETH right now? So where can Wagme defense go? Well, we have to look at, you got to kind of look over here at metaverse projects, and you really have to be, what's the cap on a metaverse project? 1.7 billion, 1.2 billion, 1.1 billion. And these are major ones that a lot of people are into, 1.1 billion. So that's got to be the cap. We have to consider that the cap right now in the bear market is $1 to $1.2 billion. Now that is a significant move from where we are right now. What we need to do is we need to find playable games and say, what is the idea here on a playable game if we're doing a great job? And we can go with Floki, which is 400 million market cap right here, 444, because they've got Valhalla. And then we've got Illuvium, which is 193 million market cap. And My Neighbor Alice, 120 million market cap. So that's where it looks like. That's where it looks like the play is for right now. If you're somewhere between 120 and 440 in a bear market, most likely scenario though is going to be somewhere in the actual developed and built game. So Battle World, I think, is out. UFO Gaming, I think they released it now. There are some of them out here with 40, 50, $60 million market caps. What you have to consider is, what does being on Apple iOS mean to you, and what's the opportunity there? So I do think that puts it in the top 5 level, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that top 5 level push it about 468. And I just don't see, Wagme passing Engine in this market right now. Wagme's got a long way to go. They've got a lot of building to do for an entire ecosystem. So I'm going to say the maximum play over here is, let's split the difference. Let's just say it's 220 million. So let's just say I think it can 20x from where it is right now, just based on what's coming up in the next bunch of weeks if they launch. I think that's entirely possible. Now, it's also possible that I could be way wrong and this thing just gets on a life of its own and it just really, really takes off. Like, that is entirely possible as well. If you get to 500 million, I would think that that's a 30, 40. That's about a 40x from where we are right now. So that's not a lot, right? So I think there, possibility certainly exists that we can have a big run. So, it's just a matter right now of seeing it actually play out. So, but it's coming. And what I'm excited about is the Wagme Genesis NFTs, or the Wagme Genesis NFTs monthly payout. I want to see like a big bag of people spending money on Wagme, getting buffs and stuff like that. I want to see that, and then get like three. Like, let's if us involved split like 3 million a month. I remember that would mean it would have to be $30 million. So I'm not saying that there's a big possibility, but if we were splitting 3 million a month, that'd be $1,000 per NFT. That's $3,000 a month for me. So I'm just going to sit back and wait and see how this whole thing plays out. But I do think that Wagme's got a big pump coming. So now we spent too much time on Wagme. It's time to move on. Shiba. Shiba price at a pivotal point. Only 352 million SHIB burned in February. Let that sink in. In the token that needs the burns the most in order to bring the market to a head, in order to bring back retail, in order to show a gigantic pump. Because let me tell you what happens here. Shiba pumps and retail pays attention and they start aping in. And all of a sudden you're looking at it and you're like, oh my God, it's going crazy. That's what happens, right? And that's not what we're seeing so far. What we're seeing so far, and holy shit, Ethereum just blew up. That can't be right? Nope. That's whatever number they got over here is not correct, because it can't be 16,778 right now. But Shiba has an extremely low burn rate, and this is the bad news, especially when you have all of these whales moving their stuff to exchanges and putting themselves in all these areas. The 1-day chart, SHIB is facing a critical. And by the way, I am not feeling SHIB right now. Now, here's the thing. When I say that, I also say it with the understanding that SHIB has come through big time before, right? So when I say I don't really feel it right now, it's very possible that I don't feel it because they're keeping it tight to the vest and they're not releasing any details about Shibarium for a very specific purpose. And that purpose is to surprise people and to make this thing just go crazy when it does. Perhaps that's the play and that's the move. So, we might not be seeing a whole lot of people getting insider details or anything like that. And we're just going to see it ready to go. You know what I mean? So it's possible that that's the play and that we're feeling that frustration because of that, right? So if it bounces to the upside, then 1382 seems to be the target price area at best. So let's move on from there. And this is the big thing right now. 31%. Silvergate stocks after hours is down 31%. Silvergate may be poorly capitalized, reevaluating strategy in light of regulatory challenges. Silvergate Capital Corporation told the U.S. SEC Commission that it may be less than well capitalized and said it was reevaluating its business in a filing with the agency. Shares plummeted after close. Silvergate, a large bank of fintech and crypto, said it would not be able to file its annual financial report on time. It noted that it expected to record further losses related to the other than temporary impairment on the securities portfolio. The company is currently in the process of reevaluating its businesses and strategies in light of the business and regulatory challenges it currently faces. It also told the SEC it could not file its annual financial report on time because it needed more time for analysis, auditing, and to record journal entries related to subsequent events. This right here is that next black swan, and it is playing out right now. So how this goes over the next little while is going to be very, very, very interesting. But just so that everybody knows, for me, I am stabled on everything but my degen plays and my crow bag and stuff like that. So I'm not really worried about it. I got most of it sitting in USDC right now. So let's just see what happens, is my strategy on that at this moment. So guys, I don't want to say that, I don't want to say that this gives me a nervous sentiment, but let's go back and, we're feeling a little nervous about SHIB. We're feeling a little bit nervous now because of Silvergate. This could lead to some serious FUD in the market over the next 24 hours. So if you haven't already, it might be a good idea to stable before the night is over. If and I'm not saying that we're going way down or anything like that, but it's at least something for you to consider in light of some of these events. It's just feels a little bit nervous right now. Now let's move on because it's getting worse. Binance can't keep its story straight on misplacing 1.8 billion USDC. The FUD is coming from inside the building, says David Z. Morris, CoinDesk chief insights columnist. Now remember, we established yesterday that CoinDesk is a paid shill for the DCG, the digital capital, the digital Barry Silbert's organization that's in bankruptcy, Genesis, and all that kind of shit. So they're not to be trusted, but they are pointing out that there's been multiple stories about where that money was or how they made that mistake and how they moved it around erroneously, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And CZ Binance has done all he can to tell everybody that everything is fine. Well, everything does not appear to be fine with Binance, no matter what they say. Now, at the end of that, when I say that, what I'm not saying is that they're not capitalized. It is entirely possible that they are perfectly well capitalized and that there is no problem, that there is absolutely no problem with Binance. That could very well be the case. So remember that. And for those of you that didn't get to see it, there's the dragon. It could be well capitalized, and we could just be kind of, freaking out a little bit about it because we keep seeing it, and because like dumbasses like me just keep talking about how I don't trust CZ Binance, et cetera, et cetera. So, there could be a breakdown, but it could also be that we're just making a thing out of it because it is well capitalized, and it's not really a problem. We're just making a problem where one doesn't exist. And CoinDesk, because they need some help, and Barry Silbert needs somebody to lie for him and help him, might just be doing that. Now, let's move on from there, and let's not answer any questions because we're going to have to speed up a little bit. Visa executives say payments. Remember, we did this yesterday where Visa and MasterCard put a pause on everything. Visa executive says payment giant not backing away from crypto despite recent reports. So yesterday, we got our report from where? Oh, yeah, from CoinDesk. So CoinDesk is now actively fudding the market, saying that Visa and MasterCard were going to put everything on pause, and it's not true. So Visa says they're still in, and don't worry about the man in the window. Now, the next piece is in lines with Binance. Coinbase CEO says Binance stablecoin BUSD was delisted due to liquidity concerns. Now, I don't know if any of this is true, but the reason we did that was that Paxos, the issuer of BUSD, has been ordered to stop minting it. So we were concerned about liquidity issues for our customers. Now that right there is how you FUD. Brian Armstrong is FUDding Binance because, again, just because this doesn't make it real. This just means that this guy who's had a problem with CZ Binance for a long period of time and is seeing an opportunity might just be capitalizing on that opportunity. So right here, you can see this article. The reason we did that was Paxos, the issuer of BUSD, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I forgot to share my screen. Sue me. Anyway, and there he is getting ready to eat a lizard. Like, Jesus Christ, does this not look like Rick Scott's son Ugh, creepy dude. Anyway, he says that that he's concerned about he's fudding them. Basically, that's what's going on. He is fudding Binance, and again, I don't think Binance doesn't deserve it, but I don't think, I think it's dishonest. So, but let's move on. A couple of charts to look at. Buckle up when ETH breaks the downtrend line. I still expect a God candle. Once that happens, all altcoins will follow suit. Now, what is he talking about? We're going to zoom out here on the day chart. And we're going to point out this candle here. Remember, we just did this on Ethereum, but look at this right here. We have not broken. Remember, I told you the trend line for Ethereum was just worse off than it was for Bitcoin. This was the top of the market. We tested it here. We tested it here. Continues to come down. We're testing it right now. If we break above that, if we can break out into, and look, we have not broke into that area yet. If we break into this area with a 1750 or a 1760 in the next little while, then all bets are off. We are headed to the moon, because that will be some confirmation that we've had a breakout over the downward trending line on Ethereum. So Mustache, who has 50,000 followers, says, buckle up when ETH breaks the downtrend line. I still expect a God candle. Once that happens, all altcoins will follow suit. As I said before, just like in 2019, everything is identical. The length of the downtrend and the duration of touches 1, 2, and 2, 3 are similar. And this is what he's talking about over here. This is 2019. Remember, there was this line, right? And that's the one that we talked about that was right there. That's the spot. And it looks similar to this spot after this little move right here. 1 down, 2 down. You got 1 down, 2 down. You're in the trend line spot right here, making that final test. And then here's the big move. And then that would mean here is the big move. Now, if that's the big move to 2,300, which is kind of what it plays out like, or looks like it plays out over there, that does mean there's more downside to come. This was all because of the pandemic, if we remember. And that then got liquidity into the market, which China already has liquidity in the market. So we're not going to have to worry about this downward COVID dump. We can just look at it as this right here. What we should do is just consider all of this shit right here doesn't exist. And that's the continuation right there. So we probably just kind of continue on and have like a nice little upward run. So, and that, plays out over the next 2 years, right? So, just because we're here, or just because we're at the beginning of it, doesn't mean that it's going to go absolutely ape shit right now. But also, Crypto Rover says Bitcoin history repeating itself. And you can see that it is doing the exact same thing that I'm talking about with Ethereum right here again. So we're in this wave pattern. We're in this position. This is where it goes crazy. This is where it should go crazy. So now we're looking at those positions, and now we're seeing if history plays itself out, then that's exactly what's going to happen. But now let's move on. If you haven't heard, NGN has been talking to Volt and Voltoshi. It's fairly new. I introduced them today, but they are attending Volt stuff, trying to find out how they can fit into that Volt ecosystem, if they fit into the Volt ecosystem with their crypto AI software. And that's going to take some Voltoshiing to figure that out, and to see if there's a place where all of this kind of fits in together. I don't know if there's a deal to be made. I don't know if there's a deal to be had. Maybe there's just a conversation where NGN and Miyamoto talks to Voltoshi about, hey, how do we moon a project? What do we get listed on? What are the best practices? You know what I mean? And Voltoshi's going to take the time. He's going to feel it out. But also, Voltoshi would be looking for this AI to see maybe it does something to enhance chat. Maybe it does something to enhance Volt. Maybe it's something that can be integrated onto the Volta Change website, so that people can put in like a contract address, and it will tell you what the sentiment is on the contract address by putting it in. Putting me out of business, of course, but ain't nobody putting me out of business, I guess. Just kidding. LOL. So anyway, but I guess that kind of puts us where we are. And let's take a quick second here And I know we might have some stuff in chat, but give me a second here to kind of go through these charts. And all right, Renga Apes Club believes we just gifted you an NFT. We have a new art update coming. Hope you like it. Thanks for what you do for this space. So thank you very much to the Renga Ape Club. Appreciate you guys. By the way, if anybody else wants to send NFTs or anything like that, then my address is in the description down below. You can also send crypto if you want to. Hey, look, it sometimes just like some other places, like I'm not telling you to send me money, by the way, but if you have a crypto and you think that it's going to look good in my wallet, you can send it. Like I don't like if you've ever looked at my wallet and you've ever paid attention to it, like shit doesn't move. I sold my position on Hulk Inu because I thought that I would be better served by putting it into SHIB because I think SHIB's going to run before Hulk does. But other than that, I haven't made a move or anything other than doing my normal like ETH pumps and stuff like that for, ever. So everything I'm sitting on, I'm still sitting on. I'm just accumulating more and accumulating more. So if you think that your token would look good in that wallet, you can throw some in there. I have no idea. It can sit there and you can tell everybody, hey, Bleeves has got some in his wallet, and I won't tell anybody different. And I'm not deleting this. I'm not deleting this live stream, but they'll know, and you'll know, and we'll know, but we know. So there. So anyway, Renga Ape Club, I appreciate that very much. And let's move on here and let's do this. Guys, I told you what was going on with Hex. I told you if you got into Hex that you were going to be rewarded. I told you that down here was going to be that play. And God damn it, if you guys got in, if any of you got in, and you like, Jesus Christ, like you have got to be living a dream right now because you're up 350%. Over the course of, what was it, a month and a half, 2 months? Well, I guess we're going into month 3 right now. So 2 full months. In 2 full months, you're up 350%, 3 or 4x. So if you decided to take that risk, when I said this is that 20 cents that the party was on, if you believed it and you did it, then holy shit. Wagme, we already talked about. Wiz is up 4.5% to 38.56. Wiz, by the way, is part of Pulse Chain. Well, this is part of Ethereum, but that's going to be part of the Hex ecosystem very, very soon when the ecosystem launches. Volt 1673 starting to do a reversal. It's a slow reversal, by the way. Until we see a big time reversal, then we're not really in that mode yet. But we did bounce off of, and you can see the wicking right here. We did bounce off of that 1640 line, which means that we are on the way probably back up. You can look at the 1 hour chart. You can probably see a little bit more positive and bullish look right there. The one thing to remember, though, is that 50 and the 200 are still in a bearish kind of pattern. So we're looking for that to move to the upside. So once this, if we can settle over the 50 and start using it as support, then we will rapidly bounce up through that 200, and that will flip everything and turn it into a bullish. We can do that bull flip, which, look, here's what happens when the bull flip happens. So there it is right there. The last time it flipped on Volt was right here at, what is this, 86.17, and didn't stop until we were at 2,000. So that's what, 150, almost 150%. So let's 130%, my bad. So yeah, it does mean that when it does cross over, that it is a pretty bullish indicator for Volt. So it looks like we're about to maybe make another move over the next couple days to make that happen. So Decanect 79.92 up 3%. Lillian had we had a voice chat today in Lily chat, and they're moving to version 2. They've got look, there's a lot of things in the pipeline, and they're not apologizing for anything that happened before, because there's always going to be people out here that say, well, they made a bunch of money. Look at their wallets, look at their taxes. You can convince, look, you can convince yourself of that, but you can't make any kind of argument that's compelling using facts by by looking at their wallets and saying, oh, you made a whole bunch of money, because nobody made a whole bunch of money. They really believed what was going to happen. So just remember that. Cato, 1364. Terra, 27.99. Again, just a lot more volume. We're starting to see more volume, but it's not in the good way. Like we're not seeing, we saw a little pump, now we saw a little dump. It's people entering and exiting the market. And here you go, right here. You look and you see somebody exited with 21 Ethereum. Big move right there. And the question now becomes, how much more do they have? Terra 2 doesn't look like they have any more. So they're out. Maybe. And by the way, Terra's going to have to do the same thing that Saitama did, and that they're, a lot of people are going to exit along the way because they don't want to be involved. And, that's okay. But there's other people that will want to be involved. So we'll see how it plays out. Bones at $1.69. Starting to, looks like probably getting ready for a reversal. As you can see down here, it's getting into it's got some bullish numbers in the MACD, and it crossed over a few hours ago into bullish, but it's using the 200 SMA as resistance. So if we zoom in here, you can kind of see here that this is a bad sign. The fact that it did not go over right here after testing and coming over this, like this is everything that's playing out right here is as bearish as it gets. So I would not be surprised to see us exploring this $1.62 overnight, even if the rest of the market is having a good time. And then if it gets into this $1.50 range, that's my buy zone. So I'm going to be aping in with a bunch of money into Bone if that happens. 36.50 for MMAI. Again, same thing. Just a lot of downward pressure happening right now. It's going to take Bitcoin is going to have to move. Ethereum is going to have to move. We're going to have to see those things happen that we're talking about before we can really, see some kind of pump out of a lot of these tokens. BRL $1.61. SHIB 1201. Still continuing to head down. Still, and look, the rest of the market's in green, and SHIB is in red right now. So that's on you, Shaitoshi. It's time for you to step up your game and stop joking with everybody else. And look, there's a lot of people that like Shaitoshi that made it, so to speak. And those people, they're kind of taking the situation for granted that, this is okay. And I mean, clearly for a lot of people, it's not okay for you to say and keep saying, hey, it's coming out in 2022. Hey, it's coming out by Valentine's. Or, I'm sorry, not saying Valentine's Day, but heart-shaped box. And then saying that my Medium article, the next Medium article will be the release of the SHIB beta, and then you release another Medium article, and there's no SHIB beta. So you're burning a lot of bridges at this point, and it's going to take Ryoshi saying something positive and actually stepping up to the plate instead of whiffing every single time he steps up right now in order for something good to happen so that we can feel good about the position of SHIB, because people are starting to get a little bit nervous. And look, I'm not that maxi on YouTube that tells you we're going to get the 100 million billion jillion burn and you should just be just hold and shit like that. Make something happen. You know what I mean? Make something happen. That's it. Saitama 2311, Floki 4529. Floki's finally coming down to that 36 level. I think it bounces. If it bounces off the SMA, then you might see that upside come back again to around 4,800. But you can already see that it's ranging, and it's not ranging to the upside. It is ranging right here, down here. So we are definitely in this move towards that downside. If it breaks to the downside, then 36 is probably going to be the new low in pretty short order, like this over here, right in this area. So just we're going to kind of watch that over the next little while. NGN is at 80.88. Got a little green buy wall here from that 79 just a little while ago, and then BET is still bleeding a little bit, but the volume continues to be in the 150,000 range. So it did break down. Hopefully, we're going to see it break up in very short order. You can see here the MACD money flow has started to the positive. We flipped the RSI with a signal line. We have the MACD is now in the green. We have it trending towards an upward momentum. So maybe we'll see something really good happen on BET over the next little while. But in the meantime, that's the update. That's where we are, guys. So hope everybody's having a great day. I hope that everybody is not getting wrecked in this market. We're going to have, look, the Asian markets still have a bunch of money, a bunch of liquidity that's been entered into this market that's going to continue coming in the market over the next 90 days. So we're not done yet. Hopefully the American market will help out just a little bit because you're acting like, Jesus Christ, you're acting like a bunch of nerds. You know what I mean? So, we'll see what happens. This is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I am always right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you again for breakfast in the morning.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life.